I found even more mods to turn Fallout New Vegas into classic Fallout. So, without further ado, let's start right away. In the comment section of the previous video, you guys mentioned how the classic Pip-Boy was never a handheld Pip-Boy, it was actually an arm-mounted Pip-Boy. So let's right that wrong with the Frontier's Pip-Boy 2000. This mod replaces the original Pip-Boy 3000 with Fallout the Frontier's Pip-Boy 2000. And this recreation of the Pip-Boy actually resembles the one from the classics the most. But I do believe it does require Fallout the Frontier. So for those of you that don't want to use the Frontier, there's another mod on the Nexus called Pip-Boy 2500A. This mod is an arm-mounted version of the handheld Pip-Boy 2500 I mentioned in the previous video. Another mod I've mentioned in the previous video is close to Fallout Talking Heads. It was a mod we used to bring back the classic Fallout dialogue interface.
Report to the armory and have a new suit issued to you! Then report back to me, Private! Dismissed!
And recently a new mod for Fallout New Vegas came out that does the exact same thing, and it's called Talking Heads Dialogue Interfaces. I like this one a lot better because there's a lot of focus on the NPC's faces and it makes conversations a little more RPG-like and personal. But I still feel like something is missing. Talking Heads in the classic Fallouts had a lot of personality in their faces, and in Fallout 3 and New Vegas, NPC's faces are shit. So to bring back that same detail and personality in the NPC's faces to Fallout New Vegas, we're gonna use Dragbody's faction and NPC Overhaul mods. And now with the new dialogue interface and new NPC faces, we've essentially brought back talking heads from classic Fallout. And now conversations and dialogue are a lot more engaging.
Them quack doctors can say what they want about all the rad scorpion stings that done pierced my skull, and I know what I seen. If anyone asks, we never spoke.
The classic Fallouts were known for their desolate atmosphere, and in my opinion that was largely due to the amazing soundtrack by Mark Morgan. So to bring back that same desolate feeling to Fallout New Vegas, we're gonna be using the mod Classic Fallout Music Redux. All the soundtracks were implemented into suitable environments within Fallout New Vegas. Speaking of sound, don't you guys miss this? Leveling up in Fallout 1 and 2 was so satisfying, and this sound was the cherry on top. We're gonna bring back the same sound upon level up for Fallout New Vegas with classic level up sounds. Another sound I find myself missing from the classics in Fallout New Vegas is the death narration by Ron Perlman.
Your life ends in the wasteland.
We'll bring back that same death narration with classic death sound Overhaul. Alright, you've been waylaid by two fiends and must defend yourself. Alright, what the fuck? What is happening right now? Well, it seems like the fiends need my help, so... actually, never mind. I want none of this. I want none of this. Death Claws. Hi. Listen. Let's talk about this. You don't have to eat me. Wait, listen, Death Claws, please, please.
Your life ends in the wasteland.
I could have used the help of some companions back there. And to be honest with you, I quite missed the classic Fallout companions, especially those from Fallout 2. One of those companions was Marcus. Marcus is an NPC in Fallout New Vegas as well. However, he is not a companion. But with the help of the mod Marcus Companion, you can now recruit Marcus to be your follower. You first have to complete the quests Guess Who I Saw Today and Unfriendly Persuasion. And then you gotta pass a speech check and dialogue with Marcus. And now Marcus is your follower. And you can also drive around with your companions in your highwayman, and Marcus fits in the vehicle somehow. Another one of the most beloved companions from Fallout 2 was Goris, the intelligent albino Deathclaw. We can bring Goris back to Fallout New Vegas using the mod Goris Companion. You can find Goris at the bridge near Novak and make him your follower without any requirements. You know how you could control every member of your squad in Fallout Tactics? Don't you wish the same level of control was available for the companions of Fallout New Vegas? Well, I know that I do, and with the help of the mod JIP Companions Command and Control, we can add a deeper level of companion management, and an extra layer to strategy and planning in combat. You could ask companions to lockpick doors, hack terminals, loot corpses, and much more. And now moving on to more combat-oriented mods. You know how you could switch from burst fire to single fire in the classic game? Well, there's a mod out there on the Nexus that brings that same functionality to Fallout New Vegas. JIP Select-Fire. And now you can switch from automatic to burst to single fire modes on your guns. And I don't know what it is exactly, but this is so satisfying to do in game. I guess I just like to switch between firing modes depending on the combat situation. In the old school games, if you lack the skill level to use a certain gun, that would result in an absolute disaster in combat, or in you just missing your target entirely and maybe hitting someone else. Or worse, blowing yourself up. And that rendered high-level weapons early on completely useless to the player, even though they could equip them and use them. And in Fallout New Vegas, there are weapon requirements, but their effect on the game isn't as big as it was on the classics. So we're gonna use the weapon requirement system. This mod makes it extremely hard to use higher level weapons. Sway on guns you're not skilled at is increased. Your bullet spray is all over the place. The reload speed is decreased. And if you're using explosives, there's a chance you could blow yourself up, or the grenade or explosive just won't detonate. And if you're using melee weapons, your hacks and slashes will probably do no damage. Speaking of skills and requirements, do you guys remember the miscellaneous items that would boost your skills if you had them in your inventory in the classic games? Well, there's a mod out there for Fallout New Vegas that brings back those miscellaneous items. You'll find it on the Nexus by the name Skill Bonus Misc Items V2 Complete Edition. And honestly, this is such a beautiful, well-made mod. If you're a fan of the classic Fallouts, this is something you should definitely have in your load order. Fallout 1 and 2 armors and weapons are absolutely amazing in design. And right now, I'm about to show you two of the most iconic armors in the Fallout franchise. Starting with the Vault 13 Classic Pack Lore Accurate Replacer. This mod is going to replace the items from the Classic Pack DLC with more lore accurate equipment. And the word accurate is an understatement. Just take a look at the Vault suit and tell me if you can tell the difference. Another armor from the classic Fallouts that had a really cool look to it is the Tesla armor. And if you thought it looked incredible in the classic Fallouts, wait till you see it in Fallout New Vegas, thanks to the mod Classic Tesla Armor. This is probably the best armor mod I've seen for Fallout New Vegas in a very long time. And the mod only has a little over 200 downloads, which blows my mind. Anyway, amazing work by Tactical. Head over to his profile and show him some love with some kudos. Now for our first of two weapon mods in this video, the classic AK-112, the Adytum rifle. I know that in the previous video I already mentioned an AK-112 mod, but honestly I just feel like this one fits a lot better in New Vegas' aesthetic than the other one. The weapon has been fully integrated into the game. For our second and last weapon mod in this video, we are bringing back the classic Fallout Rockwell rocket launcher with the mod Fallout 1 Rockwell. This will replace every vanilla rocket launcher in the game except for the uniques. So now let's get out in the wasteland and have some fun. The old game's locations are honestly so memorable. Every location is burned into my memory and I can never forget any of them. My favorite of all time would have to be the Mariposa military base. So fortunately, there's a mod out there for Fallout New Vegas that sends you on a quest to the military base, Return of the Master's Army. This is not a very big quest mod, just think of it as a new area you can explore and a dungeon you can clear. There are other memorable locations from Fallout 1 and 2, but I especially remember Arroyo from Fallout 2. More specifically, the moment with the bridge at the canyon when you're about to depart from your tribe. So we're gonna add a similar location to Fallout New Vegas with the help of the mod Dry Canyon. This is one of the most gorgeous map expansions I've seen for Fallout New Vegas. It doesn't add any quests or anything new, just a new area in the world map for you to explore. Now I'm gonna list a few miscellaneous mods to enhance that classic feel. Vault suit as underwear, B42 Pip-Info, classic Robo-Brain replacer, classic Mr. Gutsy replacer, and classic buildings. Thank you very much for watching. Leave a like if you've enjoyed and consider subscribing. And leave a comment down below. Tell me which Fallout was your favorite and which one of those mods interested you the most. That is the worst Pip-Boy replacer I've seen in my fucking life.